Hey friends, this is your lesson for Tuesday, December 15th. Here are our learning targets. I can write choice 2 of my choose your own adventure narrative. There's an error in there, I gotta fix that. I can use transitional words and phrases to sequence my events, and I can use adjectives in the correct order and properly punctuate dialogue. So, quick review. Let's talk about vocabulary from the learning targets. The word transition means moving from one thing to another. So, transition words and phrases are words and phrases that take us from one section of a writing to another. Meanwhile, in the blink of an eye, after a while, before he knew it. Okay, those are some examples of phrases and words that move us from one thing to the next. Dialogue is speech or thought in a text. And remember to properly punctuate dialogue. The spoken or thought words go in quotation marks, which starts with a capital letter, ends in punctuation. So we've been working on this. I know you guys can do it. So some review for adjective order. Remember when we're talking about adjectives, we're talking about words that describe nouns. They might describe which kind, which one, or how many. Those are just a few examples. Blue, last week, 1 second. Those are examples of adjectives. So remember, they go in a specific order. That order is over here on the left-hand side of your screen. They go in order by number, then opinion, size, then age, shape, color, then origin, material, and purpose. So you are going to complete the Google form that is linked here in your slides. Some examples are at the top and reminders for you. The order of adjectives, it's right there. So look back at that when you're doing your form. Here's an example. The 2 beautiful brown horses ran along the path. Then don't forget what you learned about dialogue. Starts with the capital, punctuation goes inside the quotation marks. Finish out our sentence with a period. Only what is said goes in the quotation marks. You're going to write your name, click your homeroom teacher, answer those 4 questions about adjective order, and then these 2 questions about dialogue. When you're done, hit submit. You are going to do this on the Meet if you are on the Meet. If you are not, go ahead, hit submit, and move on to the next slide. The next thing we're going to do in class is we are going to review our Choose Your Own Adventure narrative chart. Now, we have written our intro and problem. We have written choice 1, and we are thinking specifically today about choice 2. Remember, this narrative needs to have characters, a setting, and a plot, which includes the problem and solution. It needs to have dialogue. It needs to have some good sensory details, and our sequencing needs to make sense. Things need to be in an order that makes sense. We need to have good transition words and phrases. We are going to reread Powerful Polly, and we're only going to read choice 2 of Powerful Polly. Remember, this is different than most narratives because there's more than one ending. But if you are doing this independently, go ahead and reread choice 2 of Powerful Polly. It is linked there. It is also in your module workbook. Think about these questions. How's the ending of the narrative like an ending of an informative text, and how's it different? Then we need to think about what choice 2 contains that we need to make sure that we include in our draft. So the next thing you're going to do is you are going to open up your Choose Your Own Adventure writing, and you are going to write your choice 2. If you look at page 145 of your module workbook, your plan is there. So this should already be planned out for you. All you should have to do is take that plan now and write it in sentence form. You're going to need to make sure you include these things in your choice 2 draft. A different defense mechanism to keep your ostrich safe. It's got to be different than the one from choice 1. You cannot use camouflage twice. You cannot use fleeing twice. You cannot use living in a herd twice, but you can use a different one than you did in choice 1. Again, that should already be planned. You need to think about your predator response to the defense mechanism. So how does the predator respond to your animal camouflaging or running away? What does it do? What does it think? What does it say? How does the ostrich respond when it realizes it's safe? There needs to be good thoughts and dialogue used by both the predator and your ostrich that help the reader understand what your ostrich and that predator were thinking. Lots of good description, hello adjectives, and good transition words and phrases that move us slowly from one thing to another. So go ahead and write your choice too. You're going to probably want to type that. You can write it down first if you want, but then you're going to need to get it typed in as well. When you're done with that, we're going to quick review these learning targets that we did today. I can write choice 2, I can use transition words, and I can add in adjectives and properly punctuate dialogue. That is it for today, friends. Way to go.